Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host Shades. If you watched yesterday's late night video, you know what's to come, and that is a lot of shares dropping, nice and cheap. Regardless, if we look at the price targets here, $200, 185. Oh, this guy downgraded Nvidia. Let me see what he downgraded to. It's fallen 26% from peak. Cool. That means I'm getting a 26% discount. What's the complaint? Sees robotics and autonomous AI as Nvidia's next major growth catalyst. You know what? These people are stupid. I don't even know. Do these people get degrees? These analysts? Or do they just use AI? They're idiots. This is going to be worth 200 plus in a long time because this is going to be one hell of a bear market. But yeah, I just wanted to go over Nvidia today, for this video at least. So here's what I'm watching for. I have money on the side, cash position. I am waiting for this big level down here. Because if we don't hold, I'm waiting for 90 to 92. If we don't hold, what is it, 100? Yeah. If we don't hold here, oof, we're dropping real cheap. So this is like where we're fighting right now. This is like, let me see. This is, let's use that. Let's make it thin. And let's make the opacity less to show that it's very weak support right now. Barely holding on. And if this fails here, maybe it's a little too much. There we go. If this fails to hold here, we should see 90. So, I mean, anywhere under 100 is going to be a buy for me. I'm just going to start accumulating at key levels. I'm not just going to randomly throw money around. Like Sebluk. Sebluk bought like the top on Rigetti and a bunch of other stocks, which was silly. I don't know what... He was bullish on Canada being annexed and a bunch of other nonsense. So I was like, okay, if he's saying it's going to go up and he's bullish on Trump... it's probably going to sell off. Well, here we are. He's a good indicator. Unfortunately for him, he's a good indicator to not buy stocks. As soon as he said that, I was like, well, I'm not buying our stock. Let me cancel. Because I was going to buy our stock, but I'm like, you know what? This guy just said, he said it's a buy, so it's probably a sell. He's just really good at that. I don't know why. He should short at this point. He should just do the opposite. But let's see. From current levels... If you were to buy here and hold for 153, I mean, that's a nice 50% or even from where it is right now. Even then, it's actually kind of a good steal here. But you have to be willing to hold for that 50%. If it comes down to 90-ish, I mean, when it goes back to all-time highs, 66%, so you're able to squeeze out a little more percentage gains if you wait for 90. Or you could buy right now and just hold for the 50%. I'm just showing you, like, we're eventually going to go to all-time highs. That's going to happen. This is normal. Let me just look at this. This is the weekly chart, by the way. So this chart goes all the way back to 1999. And as you can see, we reach all-time highs here back in 2001. And then, boom, we dropped to 7 cents from a high of 54 cents. So, and then eventually we came right back up to all-time highs here. And then we went higher. And then, boom, we dropped from 90 to 14 cents in the bear market of 2000. Oh, that's the financial crash of 2008. Then we eventually, after such a horrible crash in 20, damn, they took a long time. But back in 2016, it finally, 8 years later, oof, I hope that's not the case. But 8 years later, it finally recovered and then went boom, all the way to $7, dropped in the bear market here to $3, ran to 34, dropped to $11, ran to 150, and who knows how low we'll drop now, but if history is anything to go by, we should drop to 90. And then after that, because this is the weekly chart, so this is gonna play out over a while. The next big level, if we don't even hold 90, would be this one. It would be like 75-ish. And that would also be where the 200 weighted moving average is on the weekly, by the way. This is the weekly. It's funny if you really if you really look at the chart during a bear market on the weekly chart, the stock actually likes to go down to the 200 WMA on the weekly and under it sometimes. Here it pulled back to the 200 WMA of the weekly chart, and then it always does this. So I'm gonna add at 90, and then I'll add again at 75 to 80 is what I'm thinking. That's my game plan for Nvidia stock. It'll be the safest play. Everyone's gonna be buying from who? AMD? I've never even heard of AMD. Do people still buy from AMD? I always hear about collaborations with Nvidia. Nvidia this, Nvidia that, Nvidia, it's all Nvidia. It continues to perform like it always has since its existence. It just continues to go up. As you can see, if you zoom out, when you really zoom out, what do you see? A stock that runs up big and then it dumps big and then runs up big to new highs. New highs. You look at the yearly chart and what do you see? What do you see on the yearly chart? What do you see? You see what? On the yearly chart, you see that the stock, it has red ears, and it's nothing more than an opportunity to buy the dip for the next big run. So when you zoom out, you see, it's kind of difficult to lose on this one over the long term. It just keeps going up. Why would you need anything else? Okay, so looking at the daily chart, I think I'm going to add some here because I do believe we'll go. I just showed you it always goes back to all-time highs and then some. And I'm perfectly content with. I'm thinking of buying here just because I'm not going to buy big because just holding it for all-time highs from this level is 50%er. So I might put 50K and just hold that for a nice 25K profit. And then I'll add 25K at this level and 25K at this level. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see. Because I'm going off of historical patterns here. I love 50%. 50% gains and all I got to do is sit on this. Hell yeah. This is a nice little target here. 50%er. But you got to be willing to hold. And this is why I've been telling people who are on the poorer side, I guess, or who work like a supermarket job or whatever. Go get a second job, bro. I'm talking to you. You know who I'm talking to. That millennial that lives with his parents. There's plenty. It's not just Seb Luke. It's a bunch of other guys. This is your chance, man. And you're just going to sit around and let me show you the math once again. You're going to sit around and you're going to deny yourself over 50K over the course of years because you don't want to work a second job. So you make, let's just say you work DoorDash and you make, let's just say an extra 200 a week. Multiply that by 4, that's an extra 800, right? Very easy math. 800 times 12, 9,600, yep. And then finally, you put that into the markets as everything keeps falling nice and cheap. And we've already shown you, you can 2 to 3x your money minimum on the safer ones. On the more risky ones, you can, 10x, 20x your money. But let's say you decide to play it safe somewhere in the middle, you get a nice 5x. You are denying yourself 48K over the course of the next 2 years. Because, it's going to be a bear market that lasts the rest of the year, and then it's going to recover. Well, Shades, what if the bear market lasts longer? Hell yeah, then. If the bear market lasts longer, that means you get a longer time frame to buy your favorite stock still nice and cheap. That's all that is. So you're denying yourself a nice 50K, and over the long term, that would be like hundreds of thousands. All because you don't want to work that extra job on the weekends or your days off. Well, no, I just rather play, whatever, Civ 5 or whatever people play these days. It's not just Subluke, it's other people as well that are pretty much in the same situation. They're in their low 30s and they want to get out of their situation. They want to better their situation, but don't want to work for it. You're getting an opportunity handed on a plate and you're looking at it and going, hell no, I ain't working a second job. It's not worth the extra, $200 a week. Screw that, but not realizing they're denying themselves hundreds of thousands over the course of years. But of course, these people tend to be idiots. They want to get rich quick. So, yeah. It's funny how that works. They're not even thinking long term. They're just thinking, $200. I have to work extra. Screw that. This is quite possibly the safest stock that you'll ever buy. I just showed it to you. You got a massive discount from highs, and I don't know what else to say, but it's on you to take advantage of the opportunity in front of you. And if you don't, well, that's on you. But I'm gonna take advantage. I'm gonna buy 500 shares and just sit on it for the night. Because I know I can make 25K off of this just waiting for all-time highs. It's a patience pays game now. The bear market, you know what the bear market does? It really tests your patience. If you didn't have it before, you better have it now. You better have it now because you got no choice. You should be in the red. In fact, as soon as I buy these 500, I expect to be in the red tomorrow, even deeper. I want to be 20% down. I want to be 50% down. You know why? Because I know that means we're down at like 75 bucks. That's what that means. And I get to add more. So I'm only going to go in with half of the position. And if you guys watch my videos, you know my strategy. So I've been waiting for this one to get to as close as 100 as possible. Because I already did the math. It goes to 100, or here even at 103, when it moves to 153 plus, it's easiest 50%, the safest 50% you can have. You cannot really argue against that yearly chart. Let me show it to you one more time. Wow, it's almost like it keeps going up, huh? It's almost like all you need is one. And everyone's buying the chips. The AI infrastructure is being put in place. There's just so much going for this. And I don't understand why people want to make things more difficult than it needs to be. Now, with regards to the other ones, because I know people are going to ask me about an AMD or the other, what's the other one? SMCI, I believe? Yeah, AMD. People always ask me about this, and I'm like, I don't know. AMD, let me look at, what's the yearly on the, AMD, look at the yearly chart on AMD. It topped out here, and then it topped out again and failed to really go anywhere. In fact, for the past 2 years, it's just been trending to the downside. What? This is actually garbage. Look at the quarterly chart. This is, look at this. I don't know why people want to buy lesser stock. Like, it's an inferior company, at least when you look at the charts. Like, why wouldn't you want to buy the one that's performing? I don't understand the logic, but you can see very clearly. Oops, maybe I need to change to, there we go. So I'm overlaying Nvidia on AMD, and you can see that Nvidia, yeah, so I'm confused. What is this, a red candle? Yeah, it should be a red candle. So when Nvidia had a big green candle here, AMD had a red one, and then another one. Like, this is weak. AMD is weak relative to Nvidia. SMCI, and I'm sure people are going to ask about that one as well. Let me see SMCI on the yearly. Whoa, SMCI. So SMCI topped here, and then it just never really recovered. Is that what's going on here? Let me look at the Nvidia chart again. Need to change here. Price scale and candles. Oops, maybe not that candle. I need the hollow. There we go. Again, actually, this one follows Nvidia even closer compared to AMD. That's interesting. At least on the quarterly and yearly. Let's see. So green. What is this? Barely red. Big red. Yeah, here it went sideways while SMCI was tanking. So you can see the difference, right? When you overlay on the higher time frames, the quarterly and yearly, you can see that Nvidia is just superior. You know, when this was falling, Nvidia was just going sideways here within a range because it had that much more strength from buyers more than anything. If there was not much strength, they would have just followed SMCI and just kept going down. It didn't. It just went sideways up here. So let me look at. I still haven't bought in on Nvidia. I want to, though. It's tickling me. Like, I know, I'm confident. I know that's 50% is 50%. I can wait. I got time. I got nothing but time. We all got nothing but time. We'll have plenty of time to go to sleep forever. You know what I'm saying? But while I'm alive, when I see this opportunity, I'm Let me put it this way. I want to FOMO at 100, not at 150. Is that the better way to put it? I want to FOMO right now so bad at $103. But I want you to take note where I'm FOMOing at $103, not at 150. You know, I'm not chasing at 150. I'm not going, oh my God, 150. It's going to go to 1,500. That's a 10x. Oh my God, let me chase. Woo! Like, no. Notice how I'm getting ticklish. Notice how I'm getting FOMO here at 100. At almost, about 40% off? 30% off? From highs? Hell, what am I doing? Yeah, but anyways, Nvidia, let's go back to it. Oop, not NVDA. Nvidia, oops, NVA, Nvidia. If we go back to Nvidia, let's go to the daily. Maybe not the daily, let's go to the weekly. This should drop lower, but I still, I'm getting FOMO here. This is when I get FOMO. I want you to really take note. This guy gets FOMO when it gets cheap. In fact, the cheaper it goes, the more FOMO I get. Like, wow, you're offering me a massive discount from highs? Whoa! That's the difference. Too many people, they do the opposite. Okay, so from the highs to where it is right now, you're getting a 32% discount from where it is, from up here to where it is right now. You're getting a actually pretty decent discount here. Decent. I mean, if you gave me a 32% discount on grocery products, I wouldn't complain, right? Like, why would you? Would you complain if you bought a car and they offered you a 32% discount? You probably wouldn't. It's weird. It's weird that people do the opposite. Like, oh, I want to buy it up here, but down here, hell no. I want to chase up here and FOMO up here, not down here. It's weird. But if you offer me a 32% discount, it's really difficult not to want to buy. Does that make sense? It's just really difficult. It's too difficult, man. It's like, ooh, really? You're giving me So I'm just showing you the math, man. I'm getting FOMO with down here. And the cheaper it gets, the bigger the FOMO. If this comes down to 90, it's going to be like 40%, nearly 40% off from highs. If it comes down to 75, that's a nice 50%er. So I think anywhere under 100 at that point is just a steal. You can try and time it though. That's on you, but I'm just gonna average down. I'm okay with that. I've been in the game far long enough to know how to, that's. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shade Show, where I FOMO, the cheaper it gets. 33% discount. I don't know about you guys, but I'm buying some pizza. And if they're giving me 33% off, I'm buying more. Give me five more boxes, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't. I don't understand the irrationality that comes with some people thinking, "Oh no, it's the end of the world. It's it's over." All right, guys, I'm done yapping. I think Nvidia here, the easiest, safest play you can get into.